Hi, I'm Izzy. I'm from Third View and I'm here to run you through the basics of Miro. The first one we'll go through is basic navigation and how to move around the space in Miro. What's in front of us is essentially our butcher's paper, and we'll refer to these as frames or boards quite a bit. In the top right hand corner, there's a settings icon, and if you select navigation mode, it'll come up with a little bit more information about what each setting means. It's automatically picked up that I'm using a trackpad, so I'm not going to change that, but if you did want to, you could. And you're just going to have to hit apply. Another really handy tip for navigating around the board is if the facilitator mentions a specific frame number, head down the bottom left-hand corner to the frames icon and click, say for example it's frame number 1, click on that and it'll load it straight away. Now that you can move around the space, let's have a look at creating some content. On the left-hand side there's a toolbar, and there's a whole bunch of different tools here, but most commonly we'll be using the post-it note, or what we call a sticky note. It's the fourth one down, and if you select that, you can then choose the color. You may be allocated a color during any session, but in this particular instance, it doesn't matter. It's just about getting comfortable and knowing how to actually add to the board and contribute to the conversation. So it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go with pink. If you click that, and then you can put this anywhere, click and it'll automatically bring up a text box, so then you can add it really easily. And there, you're done. So when you're clicking on it, it'll come up with a blue box around it. This goes for anything on the board, which means it's selected. So that means you can change the size or the color. And that also means you can move it. Another tool we use is a text box, and it's also found on the left-hand side. It's the T, third one down. So if you click on that and then click and drag on it anywhere on the board, it'll create a text box and then you can type, simple as that. Similar thing to the post-it note, when it's selected it has the blue box around it, which means you can move it or change the color or the size. Keep in mind that when you're writing a post-it note you can only fit 8 to 10 words, so we'll try and keep that even in a Miro virtual space. To save some time and effort, you can use a whole bunch of shortcuts in Miro, and I've listed a couple of the main ones here. To save time when adding post-it notes or copying a new space, so select whatever it is you need to copy. It'll come up with a blue box to show that it's selected, and then hit Command D. It'll duplicate whatever is selected. It's really helpful when you're trying to add really quickly. Another really good one is to hold Shift and select multiple objects. You can then move or copy and paste those objects, and it'll just save a lot of time. Something to keep in mind about Miro is that anything can be undone, and whilst it's in real time, you can see exactly what has happened in the activity. So if you go to the top left hand corner, there's an arrow, and if you hit that, it'll undo your last action. And if you're not actually sure what you did, head down to the bottom toolbar and hit the lightning bolt. If you click on that, it'll show what your last action was, and it'll actually take you to that. So if you accidentally dropped something somewhere or moved it, click on that and it'll take you exactly there so you can move it back. Something that's really cool about Miro is its real-time collaboration, which means there's no version control issues, and you can see exactly where everyone is and where they're up to and what they're adding in terms of content and collaboration. If you're ever stuck, or if you're having a chat with someone and they're trying to point out something and you want to see exactly where they're up to, in the top right hand corner you can click on either anyone that's in the board and it'll take you to exactly what they're looking at, which is really helpful if you're stuck or if you're not really sure what you're looking at. Something else that's really cool is voting, and you might be asked to do so within the session by the facilitator. It'll come up just like this, and it will give you this set amount of votes and the space where you're given. The question is favorite ice cream flavor, and there's obviously a whole bunch to choose from, and as you can see here I've got 4 minutes to do so. So I can add multiple to each one, so I might really like salted caramel or chocolate, and each of those will come up live, which will be really cool to see at the end when everyone else submits their votes. Thanks for joining me. I hope you found some value and you feel like you can get stuck into Miro. You should have received a prep task as well, so you can get right into the activity straight away. If in the right hand corner, there's also a guide in case you get stuck or you want some more information. There's some tutorials and some frameworks in there as well. You can also search if you get stuck on a specific thing. If you have any major issues, send us an email as soon as you can so we can get it sorted and you can get into it and have enough time to prepare for the session. We'll see you soon.